Bob Uecker played professional baseball for 14 years. He's currently working for the Milwaukee Brewers as a scout in public relations and as a broadcaster. And since World Series time is when? When's the World Series?
Soon, very soon.
October. We thought we would have...
The audience is well informed tonight.
What do I know? It's coming up soon. We thought we'd invite Bob to kind of reminisce about some of the great World Series games he's enjoyed watching from the grandstands, like a lot of us. Would you welcome Bob Uecker? Well, it's that time again, World Series time, and your heart must quicken.
Well, of course it is World Series time, and I guess, as I've said before, when the word baseball is mentioned, I guess my name would automatically come to your mind.
Yes, I was watching the news the other night. It was kind of the sports, you know, and it was kind of distressing to see. They did the final telecast from Washington. The Senators are going, I guess, to Texas, are they not? Yes. Washington Senators. They had about 1,000 people out for the final game, and it's going to be the first time in 73 years they said that Washington is not going to have a baseball. Is this going to be good for baseball?
Well, there's been a lot of moves that have taken place in baseball, but I think, you know, everybody talks about moving the team. In the case of Washington, I think they should leave the team there and move Washington.
Might have a point. I never looked at it that way, but certainly logical. Somebody gave me some pictures tonight. Are these some of the highlights
yes,
of your career?
Right.
14 years. How many teams did you play with?
I was with 4. Everybody wanted to take a chance on winning the pennant, of course, so...
You kept going from team to team?
Right.
Okay. Let's, I haven't seen these myself. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll hold them up, and maybe you can tell us what they're... They see the monitor up there. Obviously, it's a locker room celebration.
No, this is actually a picture of me getting ready for a game.
You don't believe in waiting too long, huh?
No, I hadn't played in a couple days, and to get me ready, why they...
Kind of prime you a little bit, huh?
Prime me up, right.
All right. Was that actually a pennant winning team at all?
No, not after that picture was taken.
No. You were catcher.
Yes, I was. Chaser.
Chaser. Now, that is you down here?
Yes, that's me. That's my hidden ball trick.
What happened in that particular?
Well, I'm sure you've heard the phrase, he had his bell rung.
Yes. That chimed for quite a while, doesn't it? Yes. Yes. All right. I'm not quite sure what this is. This is a series of montage of pictures. What does this show?
Well,
I guess the first picture is where? Up
right.
Here? Yeah.
This, John, you remember when I talked about catching the knuckleball?
Right.
The easiest way to catch it was to wait until it stopped rolling and just pick it up.
I see, and there it is on the ground.
See the...
You're looking around for the ball there in that middle picture.
Then the umpire finally picked it up and gave it to me, and I made my throw.
You made your throw after that, huh? All right. This is obviously, here we get a shot of it.
This is
obviously a team.
This is a team picture that once a year they have these team picture days, is what they are. And on this particular day, this cost Bob Gibson, one of the great pitchers in baseball. It cost him and I a couple $100. They had taken the picture and they had proofed it and everything, and then brought it back to the ballpark before they finally caught that scene there.
What? Can you come a little closer on that?
Well, Bob and I are holding hands.
We're gonna get a close shot of that. You certainly are, aren't you? Guess who's coming to pitch? That's a funny put on. And they went out before they really took a close look at it.
Yeah, they brought it back ready to give them out before they finally
You two clowns are sitting there smiling like two. That's great. All right, now this picture must be obviously of an exciting moment.
Yes, this is on a day when the starting lineups were put on the board and the ball club found out that I wasn't playing.
Celebrating early there.
They was very happy.
I can imagine they were. This is you, isn't it, Robert? In this last picture, I can't even guess what you're doing here.
Well, this was taken during the 1964 World Series. They had 4 bands on the field, and one of them took a break, so I grabbed this guy's tuba, and I was catching fly balls in that tuba in the outfield. And, that cost me $260 too. Well, all the dents that were put in the
They find ball players for almost everything, huh?
Yes, they do.
Kind of behavior. Did you read Boughton's book at all, Ball Form?
No, I didn't. I heard a lot about it.
Where he kind of copped out and told tales out of school, as it were, about some of the ball players. They were kind of...
Well, those guys, football players and baseball players, those guys, they can write anything they want, you know, but where would they be without it? You know, they keep knocking it, but they all played it and they all made a good living at it. I would never knock it. Really.
You don't believe in coming back and then saying, here's what...
Well, I really don't. I was happy to survive as long as I did.
All right, we'll come back and talk about your career a little more, because you've got fascinating stories. We'll return in a moment after words from one of our sponsors. We're talking with Bob Uecker, who spent 14 years in the majors. Was your dad an athlete? I mean, where did you get you got the physique of an athlete. Where'd you get the ability?
Well, I guess I did get it from my dad. My dad came to this country as a soccer player.
I didn't know that.
And well, he wasn't actually a player. He blew up the balls, is what he did.
That's part of it.
Well, the big thing, I think a real tribute to my dad was the fact that they didn't have pumps at that time.
And he did that anyway.
Yes,
huh?
he did. He did a beautiful job.
I've noticed when I watch ball, most athletes, for some reason, go through kind of rituals or superstitions. They wear the same uniform, the same pair of socks. I think one of the tennis players, somebody, Cliff Ritchie, has one pair of trunks. He plays a match, washes them out, and uses them because it's a superstition. Now, does that run in all athletic
Well, I guess I had certain things that used to bother me. For instance, maybe I'd leave the house, I'd be walking outside, and I'd hear one of my kids say, another day, another dollar, 4 at bats, another collar. That would make me think that I wasn't going to get a hit that day.
Your own family?
Well, or I know my dad many times would ask me, I'd be leaving the ballpark, and he'd say, where are you going to be sitting today?
That destroys a man's
well,
pride.
I mean, you haven't even got there yet. And or if I'd see a bulldog running across the field with a cigar in his mouth, I knew I wasn't going to get a hit that day. Or maybe my last time at bat, I'd look in the visitor's dugout and see all the guys sitting there with their street clothes on.
What's the weirdest superstition with other players?
Well, I've seen a lot of players. Other players, some fellows have a superstition about picking up dirt. They pick up dirt. I'm sure you've seen them do it, and pick up dirt and throw it out of their hands. And if you do it, they'll do it again. I don't know what it is or why they do it, but if you pick up dirt after they do, they'll bend down and pick it up again. I mean, this can go on. It could be a 9-inning dirt picking up.
Yeah.
You see players, a lot of players coming from the outfield to the dugout. They always have to touch, well, either third base or second base, whatever it is.
I've seen that when they run in.
Now, a player on our bench would try and race out there and beat him to the bag. And it really does bother a lot of players. I mean, if somebody else touches a bag before they do, they're done.
That's all over for the day.
Right. I never had the problem of touching any bag.
You didn't make a lot of treks around, did you? Did you hit many homers in your career at all?
No, I didn't. I think, Well, there were days, a lot of things used to bother me, John. I'd maybe get a threatening phone call from somebody where I'd pick up the phone, the guy would say, I hope you get a hit.
And you'd choke right there.
Well, I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. It just bothers you the rest of the ball game.
Did you ever play Little League ball?
Yes, I did. Well, they didn't call it Little League ball at that time.
Yeah.
They changed the name a few years after I started playing, but I played Little League baseball, and I think really too much emphasis is put on winning and losing with Little League players, really. I know I tell my boy, he comes home and talks about not playing, or another boy is better than he is, and I tell him you've got to work harder, you've got to play more, you've got to try and do your job better. And then, of course, if he's still better than you are, well, then it's up to you to get him on the side and just hit him with a bat or something.
You've got to have a certain amount of aggression there.
Yes,
Child has got to forge ahead. Let me interrupt here a second. With transit fares going up, are they going up again? Yes. Oh, I didn't know that. You certainly don't want to be paying for 2 seats, do you, Ed?
Not me, Johnny, but you don't have to starve to reduce. Your daily weight control program could start with this: the Kellogg's Special K breakfast. Special K cereal, juice, orange or tomato, a little sugar, some skim milk, and some coffee. And you know, a breakfast like this satisfies the appetite all morning. And it's less than 240 calories. It's 99% fat-free. What a delicious way to fight inflation. The Special K breakfast. Now let's hear about another good Kellogg product.